Good morning, students. Today we are at the second part of the development. So, in the previous lecture, we have done up to the national income. Now, comparing the countries or classifying the countries on the basis of national income will not be justified, or it will not be fair. Why it not will be fair? Because every country had different population composition. The population is totally different of different countries, so we cannot classify the countries on the basis of national income. So what we have to do to take classify the countries, what we will do, we will take the per capita income. Now, before starting with the per capita income, I would like to explain you the word per capita income. As you seeing in the video also, the total income of the country divided by its total population, the average income is also called the per capita income. Now, what we say, suppose we take the example of any village, community or society. Suppose there are 10 members are living. One member A is earning 2000, one is 3000, one is 4, again one is 2000. So what you will do, you will take the income of these 10 people and divide it by the 10. So what will come out, that it will be your per capita income, means total income of a nation divided by total population of a nation. Then you will come to know about the per capita income of your country. To understand this, we have to compare the countries on the basis of per capita. Earlier we have done classify the countries on the basis of national income. At that time you have seen where India stands. But now if we take the per capita income according to the survey of 2017, first is the USA. What is the per capita income of USA? It is 54571. Russia 24791. Mexico 17,949. Japan 38,907. And where do India comes? India earns only 6,516. Egypt 10,673. China 15,254, and Brazil it is 14,236. So over here you can see that what is the per capita income of India? It is 6516. If we divide our per capita income with the USA per capita income, means that our per capita income is only 12% of the USA. So our country comes in the low middle class income country. So now on the page number 8 you can see that in the World Bank classifies the countries on the basis of per capita. Now everybody is familiar with the word World Bank. World Bank is the bank which provides money to the poor countries or to the developing countries, and they are getting the funds from the developed countries. Why they are providing money to the poor or the developing countries? So that the poor countries could do the developmental activities in their own country. So now according to the World Bank, if we see, according to the World Bank, World Bank has classified the countries. This is the data of 2017. It is given on page number 8 also. You can see in your book also that the World Bank more than or equal to the US dollar 12,056. If it is the per capita of any country, that country would be considered as a developed country. If the US dollar 12,056 or $955, then that country considered to be a middle income country. If the country's income is 955 or less than that, then that country is considered to be a low income country. So where our country stands? Our country stands in a middle low income country, because we earn how much? What is the per capita income of the India? That you can see in the table. So I think so everybody now got clear with the per capita income and how the World Bank compare the countries on the basis of their per capita income. Now come to page number next. We have income other criteria. So in this you see, if we take the example of our own country, then what we see in the upper part of the page 10, you can see the per capita income of selected states. Students, my book might be a old one, but you must be having the new book, so there must be a difference of the figures. So don't bother about that if the figures are different, but the concept should be clear to you. So now you see Maharashtra, the per capita income is 1,76,770, Kerala 88,527, Bihar 28,774. So now Maharashtra comes at the top level and Bihar comes at the least level in the per capita income. But do you think so that money only could do such things? Only money can be for on the basis of money only you can classify the countries which is developed, which is developing, and which is the poor country. So for that we have to take other indicators of development also. So these indicators of development are: first is your infant mortality rate, second is your literacy rate, and third one is your net attendance ratio. So before going to the table, I like to explain you these three terms. First is your infant mortality rate, indicates the number of children that die before the age of 1 as the proportion of 1,000 live children born in that particular area. So what is the infant mortality rate? That how many children used to die before completing their first birthday, means before completing their 1 year, that is considered to be an infant mortality rate. Then come your literacy rate, measures the proportion of literate population in the 7 and above age group. The children who are at the age of 7 and above, who can write and read, are considered to be a literate people. Now net attendance ratio. What is the net attendance ratio? That children between the age of 14 and 15, how many are getting enrolled into the school and how many are going to the school to get the education. So now we have done the three terms. Now I would like to explain you the table that is given in my book. Your book must be some different table given. Don't go for figures, go for the concept only. Over mine book by, they have given Maharashtra, Kerala again. In per capita also income they have given Maharashtra, Kerala and Bihar. Now we will consider again them under which indicators of development: infant mortality rate, literacy rate, and net attendance ratio. So now if you see the Maharashtra infant mortality rate 25, Kerala 12, Bihar 43. So which one will come at the top, students? So it will definitely be the 12, because only 12% of children die before completing the age of 1 year in Kerala. But its ratio is high in Maharashtra and Bihar. In Maharashtra, 25% of children used to die before celebrating their first birthday, and in Bihar it is 43. So now if we come to literacy rate, that how many children at the age of 7 or above are literate, that is 82% in Maharashtra, Kerala 94, and Bihar 62. Again we have at the highest level we have the Kerala as compared to Maharashtra and Bihar. Now we come to net attendance ratio. In Maharashtra, only 64% of children between the age of 14 to 15 years used to get enrolled into the school. In Kerala it is 78 and in Bihar it is 35. Again, Kerala is going far behind than Maharashtra and Bihar. So by showing this table or by explaining this table, I want to tell you that besides the money, we need the other indicators of the development to serve to check with whether the country is developed or not developed. Only or not on the basis of money you cannot considered as country be a developed country. So now our next topic is the public facilities. It is also related to your previous topic also. Public facilities basically comes to your mind the facilities which are provided by the government. So it could be a park, hospitals which is provided by the government for the welfare of its own citizens. So now in the first table you have seen Maharashtra has a high that is a high per capita income as compared to Kerala and Bihar, and which is the lowest, it is the Bihar. But Maharashtra being having a high per capita income, why it lags behind the Kerala? Why it is behind the Kerala? Because Maharashtra does not have the proper infant mortality rate. Its infant mortality rate is higher than Kerala. Literacy rate is less than Kerala, and net attendance ratio is also less than Kerala. So what we want to say over here, that money in your pocket cannot buy all the goods and services that you need to live. So income by itself is not completely adequate indicator of material goods and services that citizens are able to use. For example, you cannot buy a pollution free environment with money. If there is some problem in your society, there is some disease in your society, that could not be eradicated with the money. What will be helpful to eradicate that disease? That is only the preventive measures, and that could not be taken with the help of money. So this is the topic. We are ending over here with the public facilities. So in the next topic we will cover our Human Development Index and sustainable resources. Thank you.